Okay, good morning. Our latest 10-minute takeaway. Today I'm joined by Mitch Hahn, who is the CEO of Nordens Chartered Accountants. They have many strings to their bow, but Mitch is going to give us a quick rundown on help that's currently available for businesses. So, Mitch, welcome.
Thank you.
The COVID pandemic it's caused hardship for businesses across the board, all sizes in all sectors. What sort of help is currently available?
Yeah, Julie, thank you firstly for having me on. Really appreciate it. So the government have been, well, I would say pretty good. They've put a number of things in place with regards to loans and grants. You've got the job retention scheme, which a lot of people know as furlough. You've got the CBILS, which is the coronavirus business interruption loan scheme, where they're guaranteeing 80% of any loans. You've got the bounce back loan, which is a new loan for businesses. They've brought out today, I think it launches, where you can, I think it's up to 50K, where the government are guaranteeing 100% of the loan, taking all the risk off the banks. You've got the business rates relief scheme, which is if you're a small business and you occupy a property, and you already receive small business rates, you can claim, I think, 10 grand or 25 grand, depending on which one you fall into. And of course, you've got the self-employed income support scheme, which is based on the last 3 years trading profit, which they haven't actually launched yet, but they're writing to people in mid-May, I think.
Okay, so it's quite a lot out there. Are these easy to apply for? What sort of information a business is going to need?
Yeah, some are easy, some are a little bit more technical. For the rates, it's all about your local authority. They're going to write to you and get you to apply should you qualify. You should check yourself online if you think you qualify for the rates relief. But we do know that we've got a lot of clients that have already been paid out already. So which is really good. But if you think you apply and you're not sure, go and speak to your local authority. The self-employed income support, well, we're still waiting for that to start. HMRC have said they're going to write to anybody who qualifies in mid-May to apply. And if you do apply and you're successful, which most self-employed people will be, it's based on your 2019 tax return. You need to have filed your 2019 tax return. You will receive payment directly into your bank by mid-June. For furlough, you'll need to have a PAYE scheme for your company. You can do it yourself, but I really strongly advise you get your accountant to do it. But you do need to pay your accountant. I think we've done it as an investment to our clients for free or at our cost, but we are aware that accountants are charging, so be prepared to pay for that. And there's a portal that they've got, the revenue, which you log into. You need things like your bank account number and sort code, PAYE scheme number of employees, all their national insurance numbers, the basic information you need to run a payroll effectively. So that's pretty simple if you've got the right information. CBILS is a slightly difficult one because the banks aren't really delivering this as much as what the press are saying and what the government have said. You need to go to your current bank first, but the information you need is unbelievable. I mean, you need so much detail. You need the last 3 years full accounts, 12 months business bank statements, and personal up-to-date management accounts, no later than 1 or 2 months out of date, age, debtor and creditor lists, any outstanding debt, personal assets, home address, how COVID-19 has affected the bit. I mean, there's so much you need.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. And there's so much more. I mean, when Joe talks to you more over a longer period of time, he'll explain. But the banks are under a lot of pressure because the government have said that they're prepared to lend. They're not lending because the banks are at some risk because the government are only saying they guarantee 80%. Which kind of brings me on to the bounce back loans, which is something they've actually launched today. So we know not so much about, but it's a much easier application. Well, that's what we do know. But if you've already received a loan from the CBILS, you can change, I believe, to this one, as it seems to be a bit cheaper. But you can apply for a loan up to 50k based on the percentage of your business turnover. The government will guarantee 100% of the loan, which means that if your business meets the criteria, you'll be accepted pretty much straight away. They're saying that there's no complex criteria, and I think it's just a 2-page application form, and the loan should arrive within 24 hours of acceptance. Apparently, there's 2.5% interest rate, and there are literally no payments for the first year, which is really good. Like I said, we're yet to see it yet. It's been launched today, announced last week, launched today. So I'm not sure how the banks are going to deal with it, but we will soon find out.
Oh, well, that's good. That sounds like a much simpler system than the CBILS, because that sounds like it could be a mammoth pain if you haven't got the information easily to hand.
Yeah, I think the difference is that the CBILS will lend more.
Right. Okay. So more money, more information.
Which is slightly, this is for up to 50k, whereas CBILS are, I think it's up to 250k.
Right. Okay. Are there any other relief schemes businesses may not be aware of?
Yes. So again, today the government announced the top up to the grants for the small business rates relief. That you have to have under 50 employees and be able to demonstrate that you've had a significant drop to coronavirus. The maximum amount is 25,000, but you can also get 10,000. But rather than it being just for the rates relief, they've giving local authorities they're giving them the platform to allow them to lend at their discretion. So they will have the money and they will decide where they lend the money to, which is quite interesting. This comes out today again, but we'll see how they deal with it. And you've also got the normal business loans that are available where the interest rate is good. So although the government are releasing everything, it's still worth looking into normal business loans. I think they're quite accessible, and I think there'll be really good interest rates. And of course, you've got private equity as well. Private equity is key. There's a lot of people and other funding houses that are prepared to lend right now because they're seeing a lot of opportunity.
Okay, so bearing in mind everything that's available via the government and privately and via banks, what are your top tips for businesses to help get them through this period?
Yeah, so my biggest tip is cash flow. I mean, cash is king, and I think we're advising all of our clients, just make sure that you've got cash flow forecasts. It's literally the most important thing right now. We've had a lot of businesses panic at the initial stage. I haven't got the cash to survive. When we've put together the forecast for them, you realize that it's actually not as bad as what they originally thought. Not only that, for any loans or any finance, it will tell you what you actually need. A lot of businesses are going to banks blind without the actual amount that they need to survive and get through it, which I reckon is a reason why a lot of businesses are getting rejected from it. So cash flow forecasts every business owner should have done their cash flow forecasts. Everyone. That would be the first thing. Another tip would be to pivot, to find a way to pivot. I think we all had every business is affected by this, whether it's a positive, negative, everyone's affected, every business owner. And it was an edge of a cliff moment, wasn't it? Where there's a lot of businesses that have slightly pivoted to offer their services in this current climate. I'll give you an example. It's probably the most, not everybody's in the same position. Someone like Alexander McQueen, a fashion house, they almost pivoted instantly, and they said, we're now opening up and we're making masks, branded Alexander McQueen masks. And I think there's a lot of businesses are now set up slightly different to offer a service that's relevant in this current market. So I would say, look at your current business and see how you can offer something in this current climate. Because I think put some thought into that. And another thing, my last tip would be engage with your current clients properly. I think, a lot of businesses I'm seeing out there are trying to go and get new business. They're trying to promote to the outside world. And I think the most important thing is stay in touch with your current clients. They are the people that trust you. They are the people that enjoy and they like your work. look after them, let them know you're still there and you're prepared to work with them closely and help them out where they need. And I think that's key right now. We've got a whole contact plan in place to make sure that we're contacting every single one of our clients, to let them know that we're there and see how we can help them.
Okay, that's some really useful advice. Thanks, Mitch. And as you said earlier, Joe Sald, who is strategic planning, will be joining us on our Ask the Expert panel on the 21st of May. And we'll be happy to talk about any of these schemes and loan schemes that are available in more detail. And hopefully some of the ones that have been released today will have more details of by then. In the meantime, people can contact you via the website, and I'll also put your contact details up. If anyone's got any specific questions, I'm sure you'll only be too happy to answer those for them.
Of course.
Perfect. Okay, thanks very much for your time, Mitch. It's very much appreciated.
No problem. Thanks for having me on, Julie.
Speak to you soon.